Welcome to America's great collection of hot rods, motorcycles, and trucks. Most people call it the O'Reilly Auto Parts World of Wheels, and it happens right here in Chicago. Hi everybody, I'm Doc Riley. It's my pleasure to be the host of this big weekend event where we've got everything from vintage race cars to the Riddler winner at the Detroit Autorama that's on display, and pretty much everything in between. One of the great things about this event here in Chicago is it really pays tribute to Chicago's car culture. A lot of the different car clubs that make up that culture have selected their best vehicles and put them on display here at the Donald Stevenson Convention Center. Of course, this event also has touring folks that are here that travel almost every single weekend during the winter months to compete on the Summit Racing Equipment Show Car Series. Competitors from Quebec, Canada, and Ontario, all the way down into Tennessee and Florida, and all the way out west to Florida, and all the way east to New Jersey. They've all come to Chicago to put their car on display and have it in competition to see if they can be one of the best in the International Show Car Association. Of course, the World of Wheels also has its share of celebrities, and this weekend we've welcomed everyone from AJ Styles of the WWE to Tony Stewart, NASCAR legend, who's still racing right now, even though he's not in a cup car. He spends a lot of time in a dirt car. And Dave Kindig, one of those up-and-coming builders who has an incredible, great TV show. His handiwork is also on display here, but he had an opportunity to meet and greet some fans. The World of Wheels is not a new car show, and it's not an old car show. It's a show for everyone to come and enjoy the American car culture. And there's a lot of different spots to that car culture, a lot of different spokes, you might say. Motorcycles, street rods, street machines, muscle cars, and traditional rods. You know what? Let's take a look at some of the incredible vehicles on display here at the O'Reilly Auto Parts World of Wheels.
Hi, my name is John Pfeiffer, and I'm here with my wife Connie, and this is our 1970 Monte Carlo Super Sport. We've had the car for about 6 years, well actually 6 years this month, and have had it restored. It was restored by Superior Auto Works in Frederica, Delaware. Eddie Dinkenberger is the proprietor, and he just did what we think is a phenomenal job on the car. The car is a numbers matching, date code correct car. That's what I was looking for, in addition to the fact that I wanted a 1970 Monte Carlo, because it's the first year that they were produced. It's somewhat of a rare car because of the fact that in 1970, when they first came out with the car, there was a strike, and a lot of Monte Carlos didn't get built because of that. We have had, this is a frame-off rotisserie car, a rotisserie restored car, and every nut and bolt and clip and clamp and part has been cleaned, properly plated, back to original. When the car was cleaned, we the restorer Eddie and myself found part stickers and inspection paint daubs, if you will, and those were totally replicated. Now you can buy a kit for the part stickers. We did not do that because the numbers wouldn't be accurate. We actually had them made to the correct number, font size, color, and total sticker size. This 1970 Monte Carlo is an SS model, which means that it has a 454 engine, turbo 400 transmission, and a 12-bolt rear. There were 3,823 of them made in 1970, and only a little over 1,900 of them made in 1971. After that, there were no more SS Monte Carlos produced at that time, and that was because of government regulation and emissions, et cetera, et cetera. We're of course in Chicago, and last week we were in Detroit. In Detroit, we took second place and restored, and also we were acknowledged with a plaque for having a detailed display area between what we have as far as the display and the car itself. Again, the engine was, everything has been rebuilt on this car, and I'll get out of the way here a little bit, and down to the proper stickers, and we kept it at 360 horsepower, which was factory. My engine builder wanted to cam it up a little bit, but I said no, we're keeping this thing totally original. Another thing we did in keeping it original is when the body was off and we were painting, this car was an unusual one because it was a red oxide primer, and what would happen on the underbelly was black, but then you'd get overspray. So we have the proper overspray of the red oxide primer, and then we also have the proper overspray of the paint under the body. And in doing that, that's the way it came from the factory. And my builder, in doing that, also had to figure out which direction the car was running on the assembly line to do it. One of the more interesting pieces of memorabilia about the car is a lunch plate. And we have a picture of it over here. And that lunch plate was found under the carpet on the passenger side in the front seat. That lunch plate was put in there by one of the assemblers, and we know that because it has glue overspray that was put in there to hold down the carpet and the sound deadener that was originally put there. The car's name received her name when I brought her home. The wife looked at it and immediately said, "That's Sweet Pea." This car is not a driver. Since we had it, we got it back from the restoration shop in January, and since then we've put almost 2/10 of a mile on it, and that's from the garage to the trailer and the trailer to our site here. So the wife doesn't let me drive it, and I don't let her drive it. Our goal with the car is a national championship with the ISCA, and we're hoping to accumulate enough points to participate in that championship run for next year. And we've had some very nice comments from folks passing by and from other contestants about our car, and we're proud of it. We're looking at the interior of the car now, and interestingly, the top of the dash is a survivor. Oftentimes they get cracked and damaged by the sun and the elements, but that is a survivor, as is the wood grain on the dash and the steering wheel. However, the wood grain on the console had to be replaced because when we took the console out to have it re-chromed, the wood grain was damaged and we had to get that done. And that was kind of complicated, but we ended up having it sprayed and it looks exactly like the rest of the wood grain. When you purchase the interior parts for the car, oftentimes you get it from different vendors, and even though they're all given the same code to work with, they come in different shades of green, so you end up with a rainbow of green. And what we did was, there is a company that you can buy interior paint from and spray the interior, and it holds up. I mean, it doesn't come off on your clothes. It's very durable. And again, my restorer, Eddie Dinkenberger at Superior Auto Works, found that out, did this, because he is so detail oriented. We wanted a car that actually matched on the inside and didn't look like a rainbow. We're residents of the state of Delaware, and in Delaware, when you have a license plate, you own that number. And some of particularly the 2-digit and 3-digit, are very expensive. I found out who owned this tag, which is 70 for the year of the car and 360 for the horsepower. That is an active tag, and when I get back home, it's on another car right now that we have, but when I get back home and when I have this car inspected for antique, this tag will become the permanent tag on the car and its antique tag. We want to thank you for visiting with us today and for taking a look at our Monte Carlo SS. We're proud of it. We hope that you've enjoyed your visit. And there's one more thing I want to show you. We have this antique cooler and we had some bottles painted up here. This is our logo for Sweet Pea, but on the back we have the ingredients that it took for building this car. And I thought that you might enjoy taking a look at that, particularly the last line.